everybody! So today we're making HelloFresh's cheesy smothered mushroom chicken. Let's open the bag and see what's going on. First up, we have some scallions, some carrots. We have 3 carrots. And then we have some white potatoes, some chicken concentrate, some sour cream, and some chicken breast, 2 chicken breasts that have been skinned and deboned. Now, let's start with the carrots. The carrots are supposed to be cut diagonally, about 1 inch width apart. Now, I am not skinning the carrots or peeling the carrots because the skin actually has good nutritional value, so I'll just leave it on there. Plus, it'll make for a rustic look when the carrots are done cooking. Once I'm done, I put all the pieces on the baking pan on which they'll cook. And it's a pan I have sprayed with some olive oil. You can use oil of your choice, and the oil is not included in the box. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil because the recipe does call for a drizzle, and I want to make sure I have just enough oil to coat the carrots well before I put them in the oven. Now, I had a couple of small bell peppers in the fridge, and so I thought, since I'm already using electricity and energy and all of that cooking the carrots, I might as well throw them on there as well. So the carrots will bake on the top rack in the oven, which is preheated at 425 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. I imagine the bell peppers can withstand that heat and that amount of time, and they'll come out just perfect. So now that that's ready to get in the oven, we are going to start on our potatoes for the mashed potatoes. All right, so I have the pot here in which the potatoes will cook. So I'm going to just dice them up in 1/2 inch pieces. That's what the recipe calls for. Again, I'm not peeling the potatoes because of their nutritional value. And I'm just going to chop them up. Now that we're all done dicing the potatoes, I'm going to just put them in the water in the pot so they can be ready to boil. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, hopefully just enough and not more. And then the potatoes will cook for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they're done. And then we'll be mashing them for some tasty mashed potatoes. Now, I like a little bit of garlic in my mashed potatoes, so I'm going to take these garlic cloves and just put them in there after I peel them up, chop them up. So now that we're done with the garlic, I'm going to go ahead and slice the mushrooms. And the next thing is the scallions. Now, I need both the green part and the white part, but as you can see, I have some left over here from last night. So I'm just going to use that for the green part that I need. I'm going to chop the white part off, cut the little root section, And now moving on to the chicken. Now I personally like to wash my chicken in some water with lemon juice in it. So I just brought some to the table. I'm going to put the chicken breasts in that lemon water and wash them up. Now that the chicken is washed, I'm just going to put some paper towel here on my cutting board, and I'm going to dry the chicken breast because they are going to go in the pan with some oil, so there'll be a little bit less of an oil splatter going on. Pat them dry. And while you're doing that, I should say that as the potatoes are boiling, please leave about half a cup of that liquid to the side when you're ready to drain the potatoes. So I think the chicken here is dry enough. I'll take it out of the paper towels, put them on the cutting board, and be ready for the next step. So now we want to season the chicken. I have some black pepper, which the recipe calls for, and then it also calls for salt. Put some salt on both sides. And I like flavor, so I've tried one recipe before from HelloFresh without adding anything to it, and it was delicious. But this time I added a little Italian seasoning onto the chicken, and hopefully that goes well together. Now the carrots and bell peppers are ready. They have been roasting on the top rack of the oven, and what I'm going to do is set them to the side on that same pan and just make room for the chicken for when it's done cooking. That way I can again save on dirty dishes. So now we are going to cook the chicken. I have a pan that has been heating. I'm going to drizzle some oil in there. It's nice and hot and ready to fry. Fry, chicken, fry. All right. This should be about 5 to 7 minutes per side on medium-high heat. And then you just turn off the heat and transfer the chicken to a plate. And now the potatoes are done. All right, so the carrots are done, the potatoes are done cooking. You want them on a low heat setting. And you want to add a tablespoon of butter, which you can tell on the stick of butter. It tells you how much is a tablespoon, but this is melted, so I'm kind of eyeing it. But I can't go wrong with the butter. So I'm just going to scrape that off in there. And then I'm going to add 1 of the sour cream packs. Squeeze it all in there. I'm going to now mash the potatoes up with a masher. Now I'll tell you, I haven't used a masher in so long. I usually use a fork or something, but for you, I got the masher going. So yes, a fork will work as well. Mash it all up, make sure everything is mixed well together. Now that water that we saved, we're going to add a little bit of it at a time into our potato mix, just to make it smoother. And you just do that to the consistency of your liking. I think that's enough for us. So I'll set that to the side. I'm still not going to throw the water out. I might need it. And now I'm going to take the pan on which I fried the chicken, and I still have a little bit of the oil and droppings in there. And I'm going to use that to cook the mushrooms. I also added a little bit of butter, as you can see. And the mushrooms are going in, all sliced and looking nice. Stir that up. Make sure they're evenly coated. And you know how mushrooms soak up oil kind of quickly, so I like to mix mine up quickly. I added some salt, some black pepper. And you know, be creative if you want to add something else. If you're sure, add it, or you can always add it to your own plate. All right, so everything seems to be cooking nicely here. And now I'm going to add the chicken concentrate. That looks like caramel syrup. It looks delicious. Next up is the sour cream. I'm going to put that in there. We had that half of a cup of water from the potato boiling, and I only used a quarter of it for the mashed potatoes. So this sauce required exactly a quarter cup, and so I just put it all in there. Now I should have put the sour cream in after I let it boil here for 1 to 2 minutes on low heat, but I already did it, so I'm just hoping for the best. Now the next thing is to get the chicken and add it to the sauce. You want to take a spoon and cover the chicken with the sauce. Just spoon it over the chicken. And now you want to take the Monterey Jack cheese that was included in the box and sprinkle it on top of both chicken breasts. Once you're done with that, you cover the pan and let it sit there and cook for about 1 to 2 minutes, just long enough for the cheese to melt. Now you're ready to plate. You take your chicken breast, put some of that sauce and mushrooms on there as you like. You get some of your freshly made mashed potatoes, spoon them on to the plate. And the last thing will be your carrots. Now for my case, I had carrots and bell peppers. So let's just say your veggies. All right, I'm gonna put some on this side, some on that side. And voila, you have created another amazing meal for you and your loved ones. You can sprinkle some of those green scallions on there. And enjoy!